Hello everyone, welcome in this video where we are trying to understand principles of sustainable development, understanding a common theme behind all these changing dynamic world conditions so that we gain the proper understanding of what is sustainability, sustainable development and how it will be evolving in future. In this short video, we will going to cover why these principles are necessary in the first place. Second, what are the different principles? And number three, will these principles change in the future? So stay tuned, and at the end of the video, let's review what are the interesting changes that are happening to these principles. Okay, so let's start. First question that we ought to ask is why these principles are required, so that we understand each of these principles in a greater detail. So first is, we live in a diverse world where principles guide the behavior, right? So it's a diverse world, it's a VUCA world, right? So common acceptable norms are required, which sets an even field for all, and that's why principles are required. So to understand its importance, one question: imagine a game where the basic rules are not clear. How will it be played? So every country, every continent, every culture has different concepts of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, right? So if there is no basic rules, then how it can be played? No, it wouldn't, because we don't have the even field at that time, right? The basic rules are not clear. And that's the reason why these principles are required. In different culture, different thing means different things. Different things have different meaning, different connotation. So how do we set a system so that overall, as a group, as a team, we move in a same direction? So for that purpose, principles help us to steer the outcome in one direction. If we just talk about the definition of sustainable development or sustainability, what is it? It's like we want to achieve a society, right? So which also caters to the long-term well-being of the people, and at the same time, it's also catering to the well-being of this generation across the earth, isn't it? But how do we achieve it? And that's the question. That's the real thing that we are trying to solve. And that's why to guide this behavior, principles are important because they provide clarity and direction. Even though they don't suggest us a specific action, sometimes they allow us to understand what is more or less important. Having no principles will leave us vulnerable to being swayed by popular opinion or short-term viewpoint. So one example of the principle is, whenever you go to any doctor, you might have seen the Hippocratic Oath, which is being displayed in the doctor's cabin. So this Hippocratic Oath has one principle. First, do not harm. A doctor should not harm her or his patient. And this principle doesn't tell a surgeon exactly how to perform an operation or whether to perform it or not. What is the right kind of, what is the right treatment, line of treatment for a patient? It doesn't tell it. But as per the best knowledge and the wisdom of the doctor, with the latest available data and reports, so doctor should ensure that they should not do any harm to the patient. In the same way, to achieve sustainable development, there are many principles that have been evolved over the period of time. And we will talk about these in these three different ways, right? So first is the general accepted principles. And this is in reference to different UN conferences over the decades, I would say. It is applicable for nations, for businesses, for governments. Second is UN Global Compact, 10 principles. So this is specifically focusing for business and organizations. And if we specifically talk about India, there are NGRBC, that is National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, and the BRSR reporting. So these 9 principles, that is India focused, that we will cover in next video. So in today's video, we are only talking about this number 1, which is general accepted principles. And regarding this 10 principles of United Nations Global Compact, that we will see in another video. Let's now start understanding the key principles of sustainable development.